Alright friends, so one of the first things we need to do is safely raise and support the vehicle. Once you've done that, you want to come right up front to this skid plate right here. Go ahead and remove all 15mm bolts that hold it in. Now that that's out of the way, let's come right over here to where the idler arm comes down through this arm right here. Remove the 21mm nut. Now the next thing we would need to do to get this arm out of here is of course try to drop this sway bar out of the way. If your bolts look like ours do and you think that they're going to be an issue, I would just skip right past that and we'll come right up here and we'll remove the whole idler unit right here. To get this out of here, we're going to use a 21mm right there, and then we'll use a 21mm wrench on the nut side. Right up here. Let's put a nice piece of wood in between the frame and this bar right here, just to make it so this bar can't go up too far while we hammer on this right there. Now that that's out of there, we can grab right onto this and we'll get it out of the vehicle. Now when you're replacing the idler arm here, you're going to need to separate it from the idler arm bracket assembly. When you go to do that, you're going to remove this nut right here, and then you're going to have to try to get something in between to try to separate. You could try to use a puller, and that would probably be helpful if you have that tool. If you don't have the tool and you try using a pickle fork, you're probably going to damage this right here, in which case you would replace the pair, which is what we're going to do today. But I'll still show you how to get it apart anyways, just in case you're doing only one piece. Now to remove this, I like to have it nice and level on the ground, and I'll put my foot on it. I'm going to have it so it's facing down towards the left, so when I remove this and it tries to spin, it can't go anywhere. Now that we have the nut off of there, we need to separate the idler arm from the bracket assembly itself. We want to do that without damaging the bracket assembly because we're going to be reusing it, right? So, if you were to look right up here, you're going to see that there's a hole right inside the center of this. What I would like to do is take a punch. I'm going to put this on something sturdy. You can use something like a piece of wood like I have now, a desk, a vise, anything you want. Just be super careful. Come right in here with your punch and a hammer. Let's see if we can get this to come out. Okay, so that came out and we caused no damage to this. Perfect. The next thing I like to do is put the unit right inside of a vise if you have access to one. You want to grab onto this boot, take a look underneath there, make sure there's plenty of grease. Go ahead and push it down. That feels great. Now we're going to take that idler arm, set it right down on there. Take our brand new nut. You always want to use a brand new nut. Okay. So now if I use my 24mm wrench and I try to tighten this, what you're probably going to notice is the stud on the inside is going to start spinning once it gets to a certain point. Okay. So as you can see, it's spinning the stud. Is the nut all the way down? No, it's not. So now we're going to use a hex bit, and you want to use an 8mm. Come right inside there. That's going to hold it, and now we'll continue tightening this. Make sure it's nice and tight. That feels great. It's going to be time to get our unit back up inside the vehicle here. Just bring it right up and in. Lines, hopefully. Okay, get that in the center link. Let's get this into its bracket. Okay, that looks decent. Let's grab our 2 bolts. Make sure that they have washers. Put that right through. The other one. Here we are. Let's grab the washers and the nuts for the other side. Now let's snug these up. Now let's go ahead and torque these down to 73 foot-pounds. torqued. Let's get this nut on there. Snug it up. Torque this to 46 foot-pounds. Torqued. Use our locking cotter pin. Slide it right on through there, and then make sure you peen it over so there's no way this nut can come loose. This out of here. Awesome. Let's get this shield back up on here. I'm going to line up those holes. Start in all the bolts before I tighten any of them down. Perfect. The next thing that I would want to do is make sure that I get it down to a reputable alignment shop.